प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं यं गुरुं हि स्वयं सत्यः प्रज्ञाभक्तिविनीतयः दीप्तिश्चापि वृता नित्यं तं गुरुं प्रणमाम्यहं सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। 42 41 okay. हंसोऽयं दिवि भास्करोऽम्बरतले वायुश्च वेद्यां शुचिः सोमो वा कलशे गृहे सदतिथिः संवर्तते ब्राह्मणः मर्त्यस्वर्गरताः वाम्बरगतः वार्जावनीजात्मकः यज्ञाङ्गो गिरिजात्मकः सममयः सत्यस्वभावो महान् ऊर्ध्वं प्राणमयं नयत्यपि तथा वानं क्षिपत्यप्यधः मध्ये तिष्ठति सेव्यमेनमखिलाः देवाः सदोपासते उत्क्रान्ते वपुषोऽत्र देहिनि परे नोशिष्यते किञ्चन प्राणापानवशान्न जीवति जनः जीवत्यतो सुश्रुतात् मूढाः केचन शुक्रबीजसहिताः योनिं भजन्ते तनोः स्वीकाराय यथा श्रुतं कृतमनुष्ठाणुत्वमन्ये पुनः सुप्ते देवगणे एष पुरुषः जागर्ति कामान् सृजन् यत्रेदं भुवनं श्रितं तममृतं शुक्रं बृहद्वेत्तु कः एकोऽग्निः प्रतिरूपवान् बहिरभूत् लोकं प्रविष्टो यथा रूपं रूपमथानिलश्च भगवान् सर्वान्तरात्मा तथा सूर्यो लोकविलोचनं नयनगैः दोषैर्नलिप्तो यथा सर्वात्मा पुरुषश्च लोकशमलैः एको न लिप्तस्तथा एकोऽयं परमेश्वरः सकलगः सर्वान्तरात्मा वशी स्वात्मानं बहुधा करोति भुवनाकारेण मायावशात् ब्रह्माद्याखिलचेतनेप्सितकलः नित्यस्वबुद्धौ स्थितं यः ये पश्यन्त्यमुमत्र यान्ति तैमे शान्तिं सुखं नेतरे. So we were looking at the meaning of verse 46. We will read that now. Yesterday we read that. मन्यन्ते यतयस्तदेतदिति च निर्देश्यमुच्चैः सुखम् जानीयां तदहं कथं विधिबुधः कुर्याद्विचारं धिया सूर्येन्द्वग्न्युडु विद्युतोऽत्र नलसन्त्येनं ह्यनुद्योतते भान्तं सर्वमिदं रुचास्य लसति ब्रह्मैतदेशोऽस्म्यहम् ब्रह्मैतदेशोऽस्म्यहम्. This is essentially the last part of the verse is essentially the Mahavakya. Etad Brahma ahamasmi, aham brahmasmi. He is essentially, he has brought that Mahavakya here. So we saw the meaning of the first half of the verse in the previous class. So the first half basically represents mantra 14 and the second half represents mantra 15. So the first half is, I'll just quickly recall the mantra Tade Taditi Manyante Anirdeshyam Paramam Sukham Kathan Nutadvijaniyam Imubhati Vibhati Va. So that is how the first mantra goes. In the previous class we saw Tadetat. So Bhagavad Pada commences with Anirdeshyam Yat Sukham Tat Etat. Means, so this Atma Swarupa is essentially Sandranandava Vodhatmakam Anupavitam Kaladeshavadhibhyam Nirmuktam. So Kaladeshavadhibhyam Nirmuktam. So whatever is described there. And the Sukha Rupata, which is Anando Brahmeti Vedāntamuktāvalī. So this is what is to be understood by the word Tat. So Tade Taditi Manyante. So I am Atma Sukha Rupaha iti Manyante. Ke Manyante Yatayaha Manyante. So that is what we saw in the previous class. Now Yatayaha evam Manyante. So how do I realize? Is it possible for me? So for that you may have to do vichara. So that is what is indicated by Rāmarāyakavi. Kuryad vicharam dhiya. Dhiya vicharam kuryat. Buddha kuryat. Vicharam kuryat. Kathan kuryat. Dhiya kuryat. So this is what he is trying to say here. Kuryat vicharam dhiya. This is very important statement. Now we go into the next verse. Before going into the verse, I had just an occasion to look into the commentary of Anandagiri. He has put a very interesting phrase. Kathan, see, Kathannu tadvijaniyam. For that, he has introduced a phrase that may be worth recalling. I'll just tell you the phrase. The phrase goes like this. The Avatarika. Tasmat asambhavitataya najihasitavyam paramatmadarishanam kintu shraddadhanataya vicharayitavyam ityeva maha kathan viti. Is that interesting? You see. Asambhavitataya najihasitavyam. Whatever may the Shruti say, I know I am inflicted by pain. I cannot be Sukharupa. How can I be Sukharupa? So this should not be there. That is what is meant by Asambhavitataya. That it is an impossibility should not be decided by you. Asambhavitataya. Having decided that, you will leave this. Najihasitavyam. Atumicha jihasa. So dropping it. Okay, there is no point in studying. Najihasitavyam. Kim najihasitavyam? Paramatma darishanam. Paramatma darishanam kutra asmin atma. Sukharupena yadvarnyate atma tadeva idam. Paramatma darshanam kintu. What is to be done? Shraddha dhanataya vicharayitavyam. So with Shraddha, you have to do the vichara. Okay? Shraddha dhanataya vicharayitavyam. So this is a nice avatarika which we find in Anandagiri. Now, we will move on to the next mantra. The next mantra in the Upanishad is 15th, the last mantra of the 5th Valli. Na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam nema vidyuto bhanti kutoyam agnihi tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. The mantra is simple. Let us first understand as it is from the text. Tatra means, so here Saptami tadvishaye. Na tatra suryo bhati. These two mantras are connected. Kimu bhati vibhati va is the way the previous mantra ended. So there bhati va vibhati va. So there bhati va means, can I imagine the existence of such an entity? So that is, does it become evident? Possibility. Then myself becoming mama evam spashtam vibhati va. So can I understand? So these are the two aspects. So we can just think it that way. Kimu bhati vibhati. So vibhati vispashtam bhati. That's what Bhagavad Pada says. Vispashtam bhati kutra yataha asmad buddhi gocharatvena vibhati. Asmad buddhi vishayatvena vibhati drishyate va. So this is how he brings in this mantra, the next mantra. So the answer here is atra uttaramidam bhati cha vibhati cha. I'm just reading Bhagavad Pada's Bhashya. Bhati cha vibhati cha. The question in the previous has been answered. Bhati cha vibhati cha. So bhati, so he is explaining first. Na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam. See, suppose you see a pot here. Bhati. Kena pramanena pratyaksha pramanena bhati. Right? That bhati means the existence of that is known to you. Right? Bhati prakashate. Bhati means prakashate literally. Vidyamanattvena prakashate, svena rupena prakashate. You can just understand. Now he is saying na tatra suryo bhati. So for even to recognize the existence of the object, you need some light. So in darkness you do not realize the existence. So for that object to be evident to you, there is an external light which is needed. So here he is saying tatra tasya vishaye. Kasya vishaye? Atmano vishaye. The existence of Atman is not revealed by the prakasha that is given by sun. Na tatra suryo bhati. Suryaha na bhati, anyad bhati. Na chandra tarakam. Chandra does not shed light. Taraka does not shed light. Na chandra tarakam. Nema vidyuto bhanti. Vidyutaha. Bahuvachanam. Vidyut vidyuto. Vidyutaha. Imaha vidyutaha. Vidyut shabda is strilinga. So, Nema Vidyuto Bhanti Kutoyam Agnihi. There are 5 entities which have been listed. Surya, Chandra, Taraka, then we have Vidyut, then Agni. So, you can just see, so this is in the decreasing order of their power. Okay. Agnihi, Vidyut. So then you can think of Taraka, Chandra, and then we go to Agnihi. See, very simple. Nema Vidyuto Bhanti Kutoyam Agnihi. So Kutoyam Agnihi. This small. So this is Ayam means somebody is so close to you which you can handle. Ayam Agnihi. Nema Vidyuto Bhanti Kutoyam Agnihi. But then he says, Tameva Bhantam Anubhati. Tam Bhantam Anubhati. So this is a very important phrase to be understood. Tam Atmanam Bhantam Anubhati. See, these things may be essential for us to understand the existence of something, these external lights. But the existence of these external lights is also known to this Atma. Unless this Atma Bhati, so these things will not be evident to you. Therefore, he is saying, Tameva Bhantam Anubhati. There are two levels in which one has to understand. One is, these are entities which are illuminating, throwing some light for us to see certain other objects which do not have self-illumination. So that is one aspect. After all, these are also certain objects which have been endowed with some property. Right? So each element has its own property. Now, where did these elements come from? So these elements came from some primordial entity, and that entity manifests itself into various entities exhibiting a variety of properties. So some elements in some form have the property of radiating. Some other elements do not have the property of radiating. Now, Tameva Bhantam Anubhati means the power of radiating light is even owed to that entity. So why is it? In fact, this is a very interesting thing. So this word Vidyut, suppose you take Vidyut, where does the light come from? Suddenly some streak of light will come. Right? So there are certain properties which are exhibited under certain circumstances by certain entities. So that is why he is saying, Tameva Bhantam, the source of light in all these entities is also because of that entity. So Anubhati means, so the source of light in all these entities is through that primordial source. Now, it is the same thing within you. Okay. So now you are able to perceive something. And when you perceive something, tatra bhati anubhati. So here, for you to have this jnana, that jnana shakti is provided that entity. For you to even see those things. Tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. Sarvamidam, including those entities which are shining, tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. So this is how he brings in. Now I will take you through the bhashya. So bhashya says, bhati cha vibhati cha is the first statement. Bhashya goes like this. Katham na tatra tasmin swatma bhute brahmani. Understand? Swatma bhute brahmani. So the core person in you is that entity. So it has exhibited in various forms. One is this Sthula Sharira, the other is this Sukshma Sharira and Karana Sharira. All are basically that entity only. Now he is saying, see, these are something which is perishing, there is a non-perishing aspect of that. So, na tatra tasmin swatma bhute brahmani sarvavabhasakopi suryaha. So, sarvavabhasakopi suryaha na bhati tad brahma na prakashayati. So, tad brahma na prakashayati. तथा न चंद्र तारकम नेमा विद्युतो भान्ति. कुतः अयम् अस्मद्दृष्टिगोचरः अग्निः. This is a Kaimutika Nyaya. So what to speak of this fire? This is such a small thing compared to those. Okay. Kim bahuna, he further says. यदिदम् आदित्यादिकं भाति तत् तमेव परमेश्वरं भान्तं दीप्यमानम् अनुभाति अनुदीप्यते. So what we have to understand is, so we say sarvamidam brahma, sarvamidam brahma. So sarvamidam brahma, so in some objects it is radiating, in some objects it is not radiating. And therefore, the source of radiation in that is also that. So, because it has come from that. So, therefore, he is saying, Kim bahuna yajidam adityadikam bhati tat tameva parameshwaram bhantam deepyamanam anubhati. So, Parameshwara in that form illuminates light. So, the source of light is this. The source of knowledge that I have is that. So that is the idea here. Tameva bhantam parameshwaram deepyamanam anubhati anudipyate. How? The example he provides. Yatha jalolmukadi agni sanyogat agnim dahantam anudahati. Agnim dahantam anudahati. So, Agnim dahantam anudahati. So, this plate is hot, this water is hot. Where did that heat come from? That's what. Agni sanyogat agnim dahantam anudahati nasvataha tadvat tat anudahati. I burnt my finger in hot water. Water did not. With Agni. Tadvat tasyaiva bhasa deeptya sarvamidam suryadi vibhati. The second aspect is different. So the suryadi, first bhati. The bhanam in surya etc. is to the bhanam of that. Now here he is bringing in vibhati. So these bhati objects vibhati for me. Suryadi vibhati. Sarvamidam suryadi. So whether the objects illuminated by the sun or the sun itself, vibhati kasmai mama. Okay. Sarvamidam vibhati. So I am Atma Prakasha Rupaha. In the light of this Atman, whether these illuminating objects or the objects that are illuminated are evident to me. Okay. So, tameva sarvamidam suryadi vibhati yat evam. Okay. Yat evam tadeva brahma bhati cha vibhati cha. Understand? Tadeva bhati cha tadeva vibhati cha, mama vibhati cha. So that is it. So karyagatena vividhena bhasa tasya brahmanaha bharupatvam svataha avagamyate nahi. So Brahma, how do you know that? He is Prakasha Rupa. So So Suryadi yat prakashakam vastu tat sarvam karyam karanabhutam vastu brahma. Haja karanagatam eva karye bhati. So karanagatam yadi nasyat tarihi karyepi nanuvarteta. So that is the idea. That is the logic that he is using here. So karyagatena vividhena bhasa tasya brahmanaha bharupatvam svataha avagamyate nahi svataha avidyamanam bhasanam anyasya kartum shakyam. So svataha avidyamanam katam. So you don't know the subject, how can you teach? Svataha avidyamanam bhasanam anyasya kartum shakyam. So there are some teachers like anyasya kartum shakyam. Gadadinam anyavabhasakatva adarashanat. Now he is saying, see, Gadadinam anyavabhasakatva adarashanat bharupanancha adityadinam taddarishanat. So this is how this mantra is explained by Bhagavad Pada. Now let us look into the commentary of Ramaraya. So the second para, right? Commentary of this verse. This is page number 38, towards the end. So Ramaraya said, see, in the previous para, Buddhaha tat sukhadi yat pratyaksham brahma aham kathannu kenava prakarena janiyam iti dhiya vicharam kuryat. Now he says, vicharya brahmajnana prakarameva maha. What does he say? Atra brahmani suryendvagnyudu vidyuta. He has formed a compound of 5 words. What are the words? Surya, Suryascha, Induscha, Agnischa, Uducha, Vidyucha. Suryendvagnyudu vidyuta. So Udu is nakshatra. Okay. The Chandra is sometimes called Udurajaha or Udupatihi. Okay. Udupati. Udu is nakshatra. Udu. In fact, there is an interesting derivation which is also given for Udu normally. This is a Vyutpatti which people say. So like the word Uma the other day. Umeti matra tapaso nishiddha. So U is Rosha. Okay. Rosha Pradarsane. So in fact, mother showed Rosha, right? So to Parvati. Oh! So similarly, U. So Roshavashat Dayate. So is another derivation which they present for Udu. Anyway, that is a Kalpana. So Udu, literally you should take it as, it could be Vyutpanna, it could be Avyutpanna Shabda. Udu is Nakshatra. Vidyutaha. So Ramaraya says Surya Chandra Vanhi Nakshatra Shampaha. This is a new word. For what? Champa. Shampa is a Srilinga Shabda. One is tempted to find a derivation for this word, and it doesn't seem to be too difficult because we know the 2 parts. Shampa. Sham is Sukham. So we can say Sham, Shankaroti iti Shankaraha. Mangalavachaka Shabda. Right? So Shampa, Shampati iti Shampa, one can say. I was just thinking for a moment. So how could one describe this as Shampati? So those who know a little bit of physics, so we know that the Shampa is generated through what is technically called as electrostatic discharge. That is what we say. So they say, so what is essentially happening is some discharge is happening. Discharge means there is a cluster of some charges There is another cluster of charges. So if they are sort of opposite to each other, so they will get connected at some point, and then there will be a huge discharge. This is what will happen. So the clouds, in fact today we don't know, in fact I know for sure that we don't have a very clear understanding as to how these charges get. We know that it gets discharged, but why these charges get accumulated suddenly into the cloud, we don't know. This is a natural phenomenon which is happening. Okay, but when there is a discharge, so this, why I said this is, the shampati means, so you reach a certain state in which you are more tranquil than the previous state. I'll just tell you simply. I'll give you a simple human example, then it will be easy. Suppose somebody keeps accumulating some thought in his mind. So whenever I will get this, even recently in one faculty meeting, I happened to see this. If I get a chance, I will immediately try to discharge my thoughts. Okay, so this will happen. When something gets accumulated, you will suddenly blurt out something. Then you will come to some lower state, right? Rather than being in excited state. So people come to normal state. I have seen people, they will just shout. Once they shout, they will cool down. Right? Similarly, these charges, when they are there, so once they discharge, you see, so once they discharge, shampati. Understand? Shampati iti shampa. So this is a more natural state. See? And as a result, when you burst out, see, the anger will burst out, and various people, various things may happen, and then the over, it is over. Okay. So similarly, the shampa is it could be perhaps understood by people. See, that earlier it was sort of dangerous. Once it has discharged, that is all okay. So this is gone now. So that is how one can think of. That could be between two clouds it can happen, within cloud it can happen, between cloud and the ground it can happen. That is why we put something called lightning arrester. It is essentially discharge. Okay, anyway, Vanya nakshatra shampaha nalasanti. Nalasanti should be understood as na bhasayante. That is how we have to understand. On the other hand, sarvamidam jagat bhantam yenam atmanam anudyotatehi. Sarvamidam jagat. So unless Atman Chaitanyam is there, the world will not become evident to you. Okay? So you are self-evident, the world becomes evident. Bhantam anubhati. So sarvamidam jagat bhantam yenam atmanam anudyotatehi asya brahmanaha eva rucha sarvamidam lasati. Rucha is an interesting usage. You know what is the rucha? So it can have various meanings in fact. So here ruch should be, ruch is one word, rucha is another word. So rucha here you should understand rucha deeptau. Okay, rucha deeptau. Ruch shabda. Ruch shabda. So tatiyanta rucha. Okay. So sometimes this word ruch is used in the sense of so liking kind of a thing. Okay. So here one should just rucha. See, rucha sarvamidam vilasati. Now, having said this, he says in the last quarter of the verse, see, the third quarter is over. Suryendvagnudu vidyutotralasam yenam hyanudyotate. So then he says, Bhantam sarvamidam ruchasya lasati. The last quarter is the meaning. Last part. Brahmaita deshosmyaham. He says, Yeshaha aham etat brahmayeva asmi. yeshoham etat brahmaiva asmi brahmani. So now he is just paraphrasing what was stated. Brahmani suryadayaha nabhanti maicha sushupti samaye nabhanti bhantam mam paramatmanam cha idam anudyotate. Ayam prakasha rupaha, ayam atma prakasha rupaha. So ayam atma prakasha rupaha, somewhere this prakasha rupatvam is evident. So this prakasha here should be taken as metaphorical prakasha. So with respect to this, with respect to illuminating objects, it is actual prakasha. So tameva bhantam mam paramatmanancha idam anudyotate mamaiva sarvasya bhasyamanatvad jagaradau. So what you have to understand is jagaradau bhasate. Okay. So mamaiva sarvasya bhasyamanatvad jagaradau. Tasmat. So there is a typo here, right? Jagaradau. Okay. Should be adau. Tasmat sarva avabhasakoham brahmaiva. Okay. Sarva avabhasakaha. So here he is trying to bring in Ayamatma Brahma. Kutaha bhasakatvat. So that's why he is saying Tasmat sarva avabhasakoham brahmaiva. Brahmahi sarvavabhasakamiti vicharya brahmatmanam pashyet. So brahmatmanam pashyet. So this is the essence of this mantra. Now we move on to the next verse. The next two verses have been put together. It is for a purpose. Sometimes two mantras are put in one verse. Sometimes many mantras are put in one verse. Here he has written two verses for one mantra. Okay. The next valli, sixth valli commences. The sixth valli has a very elaborate bhashya. So therefore Ramarāja has tried to convey the beauty of the bhashya through this. So there the bhashya is such a beautiful prose wherein one can see the poet in Shankara than a philosopher. So we will see that also. Let me read the verse first. You can repeat. Maya bija bhavas praham bukalitaha. Maya bija bhavas praham bukalitaha. Maya bija bhavas praham bukalitaha. Brahmankurah pranabhrit. Brahmankurah pranabhrit. Brahmankurah pranabhrit. Lingaskandadharasuradi. Lingaskandadharasuradi.
Lingaskandadharasuradi.
Sorry, I think it may not be a great idea to split that. Suradimatanu Brahmaskandadharaha. Brahmaskandadharaha. Skandadharaha. Suradimatanu Shakhastriya Putrabhrit. Suradimatanu Shakastrayi Putrabhrit. Suradimatanu Shakastrayi Putrabhrit. Do once more. Lingaskandadharasuradimatanu Shakastrayi Putrabhrit. Naikatma Vishayapravalakalitah. Naikatma Vishayapravalakalitah. Naikatma Vishayapravalakalitah. Yajñādipuṣpassukhaih 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 Dukkhaiscapi phalair-yuto. This should be together. So, Dukkhaiscapi phalair-yuto khila jagat. Dukkhaiscapi phalair-yuto khila jagat. Dukkhaiscapi phalair-yuto khila jagat. Nidascha bhutandajah. Nidascha bhutandajah. Nidascha bhutandajah. Nana shabda samagama tumula. Nana shabda samagama tumula. Nana shabda samagama tumula. Dhvanascha karmanilaihi. Dhvanascha karmanilaihi. Dhvanascha karmanilaihi. Nunnaschanchala samsriti. Nunnaschanchala samsriti. Nunnaschanchala samsriti. Mahi jonte hyabhavatmakaha. Mahi jonte hyabhavatmakaha. Mahi jonte hyabhavatmakaha. Samyajnanamayasina sukarani. Samyajnanamayasina sukarani. So this splitting also not very good. Wait. Samyajnanamayasina.
Samyajnanamayasina. Samyajnanamayasina.
Sukarani yochhedayetasya tat. Sukarani yochhedayetasya tat. Sukarani yochhedayetasya tat. Moolam brahma sadeva tadeva shukramamritam. Moolam brahma sadeva shukramamritam. Moolam brahma sadeva shukramamritam. Mithyaisamartyah punaha. Mithyaisamartyah punaha. Mithyaisamartyah punaha. So these two verses basically try to capture the commentary of Bhagavad Pada for the first mantra of the sixth valli. So I will chant the mantra and then take you through the commentary briefly. So then you will be able to appreciate what is stated here and how Rāmarāya has attempted to beautifully convey the essence of Bhagavad Pada's commentary. The mantra goes as Urdhvamulo Vakshakha Yesho Shvathas Sanatanaha Tadeva Shukram Tad Brahma Tadevamritamuchyate Tasmin Lokashrita Sarve Tadunatyeti Kaschana. This is the mantra. It has 3 lines. Urdhvamulo Vakshakha. So the chapter in Bhagavad Gita which commences with Urdhvamulamādhashākham ashvatham prāhuravyayam. So it is essentially from here. Urdhvamulo avakshākha yesho shvathaha sanatanaha tadeva shukram tadbrahma tadevamritamuchyate tasmin lokāśrita sarve tadunatyeti kaśchana. So this is a poetic way of expressing the samsara and the origin from which you see this samsara, the source rather, the origin of this. So here the opening sentence in the Bhashya is Tūlavadharanenaiva mūlavadharanam vrikshasya yatha kriyate loke. So this is an interesting phrase. Tūlavadharanenaiva mūlavadharanam vrikshasya yatha kriyate loke evam samsarakarya vrikshavadharanena tanmūlasya brahmanaha Swarupavadidharaishaya iyam shashti valli arabhyate. So this is the avatarika for the sixth valli. What is the avatarika? This has to be clearly understood. Tūlavadharanenaiva mūlavadharanam vrikshasya yatha kriyate. In fact, I remember since we were discussing about this Vidyut, so once, maybe couple of decades back, one day in the morning I just walked from my street down, and then suddenly I saw one coconut tree, so completely sort of burnt. So the coconut tree which was green. So the next day morning it was just almost nothing. Okay, all the green is gone. Only somewhere it is standing somewhere. So now from this, what do we understand? So that day night there was a lightning which has passed through that coconut tree and it has sort of burnt that. There is no other hetu. That day there was a rain, that I know. So now Tula is something Karya. So Tula you should understand as Karya and the Moola you should understand as Karana. So from the effect as you infer the cause. Okay. So Tula here refers to, in fact the word Tula also has the meaning of cotton. So Tula is cotton. This Tula is something which is a huge form. So yes, I mean it, one sense it means Karana. There are different connotations for the Shabda Nishpatti. So this meaning one has to derive in various ways. So one can understand this as, see, so Tulyate is another way of understanding this. See, so Tula means Tulyate means Puryate, Tula Purani is a dhatu. So Purana here means something which you are able to see. It is a Karya. So the Karya has filled in the manifest form the Jagat that we see. So Tūlavadharanena Tanmūlasya Avadharanam. Okay. So similarly, Bhagavad Pada here says Vrikshasya. So now there is a tree which is standing. So we know that the tree is standing because of the root. If the root were not there, it would have just fallen. So Tula is the seen form, Karya. Tasya Moolam. Okay, so it should be taken as a metaphorical sense. Tūlavadharanena eva Moolavadharanam Vrikshasya Moolavadharanam Yatha Kriyate Loke. So this should not be simply taken as a cotton tree. So the Tula should not be taken as, so that is why I am just saying. Okay, so something which is filled with. Okay, so it has flowers, it has branches, it has fruits, it has various things. So these are all the Karya. So unless the root is there and is able to take the necessary nutrients from here, none of them will come. Okay, so these are supplied from the Karana. Okay, Tūlavadharanenaiva Moolavadharanam Vrikshasya yatha kriyate loke. Evam, in a similar manner. So here it is a Vriksha Kalpana. The samsara is described as a Vriksha. So various aspects of vriksha will be connected with the samsara. This is the section in which I remember studying some 25 years back. So this is one of the most beautiful descriptions that one finds. Like Bhānavatṭa Kavya, you will see the poet in Bhagavad Pada. So, evam samsara karya vrikṣavadharanena. Samsara karya vrikṣavadharanena tanmūlasya brahmanaha. So, this is how he brings it. So, samsara karya vrikṣavadharanena. So, because there is a description, yeshoshvathaha, in the mantra. And how long has this samsara been? So it is not sanatanaha. Can I ever put an end to samsara? Yes, it is possible. So that is why this vriksha kalpana. So that's all that is being brought out here. The very word vriksha comes from vrishchanat. Okay, chedam. Now, evam samsara karya vrikṣavadharanena tanmūlasya brahmanaha svarūpavadidhara ishaya. How does the word? Avadidhara isha means avadharayitum ichha. See, avadharayitum ichha. Avadharanam means making you understand. Okay, so avadidhara ishaya. So in order to make you understand through this beautiful simile, so what is the simile? Tūlavadharanena mūlavadharanam. So therefore he is saying samsara karya vrikṣavadharanena. This is just a rupaka. Okay. So this samsara rupa yat samsara rupam yat karyam tat vriksha rupena. Okay. Tasya mūlasya brahmanaha. So Brahma is the karanam, samsara is the karya. Okay. Tasya mūlasya brahmanaha svarūpavadidhara ishaya iyam shashti valli arabhyate. Having given this avatarika, he says, urdhamulaha avakshakha. Literally, if you see the meaning of these terms, it could be a bit confusing. Ashwatha refers to the name of a tree. So, Ashwatha vriksha, yeshoshvathaha, yeshoshvathaha. That is why he just says, the samsara rupa vrikshaha. Sanatanaha. So this samsara vriksha is described by two terms. One is urdhamulaha, the other is avakshakha. So the meanings of these two terms have to be understood. First he takes up the word urdhamulaha. Urdhamulaha ayam ashwatha vrikshaha. Why is it described as urdhamulaha? So here we find the explanation. Urdhvam moolam yati vishnoho paramam padam asyeti soyam avyaktadisthavaranta samsara vrikshaha urdhamulaha. The samsara is further qualified by brahmadisthavaranta. Avyaktadi, here he puts the word Avyaktadisthavaranta samsara vrikshaha. Clear? So you can just take avyakta, you can just take it to be Maya. So from that to the sthavaranta. Sthavaranta means something which is immobile. Okay? So sthavaranta adhogatihi. So this is how we say. Okay. So from that utkrishta to the most immobile object, okay, minutest object also you can take anyway. So sthavara, now he says soyam avyaktadisthavarantah samsara vrikshaha urdhamulaha. Urdhamulaha has to be understood now. So this phrase, even there in the Bhagavad Gita, urdhamulaha, urdhamulamadhashakam ashwatham prahuravyayam. Now, this urdhva should be understood as something uchaihi. Okay? Avak means something which is nicha. This is how one has to understand this. So, this, see, the moola of which is atyanta utkrishta. So, utkrishta padarthaha moolam yasya. You have to understand it carefully. Understand? So, asya moolam means asya. So, the thing that is being described is samsara vriksha. And what is samsara? He just said, starting from maya to sthavaranta. So, all that you see here. Yasya moolam urdhvam. Urdhvam means something atyanta utkrishta. Okay? Sukha rupa, nitya. So all that has to be attributed towards that. Okay? That Brahma is what is indicated by this. Okay? In fact, he was saying, Tan moolasya brahmanaha. This is the avatarika. So the samsara is a vriksha here. Tasya moolam brahma. Okay? So yatha vrikshasya moolam tadvat samsarasya moolam brahma. So the core entity. So that urdham means utkrishtam. So why is it that? We will see that. Okay. Samsara vrikshaha urdhamulaha. Okay, you should not understand that the root is above. It's not like that.
There are a lot of such pictures.
No. Yeah, we may draw some pictures. So this is how we have to understand. So the samsara is paridrishyamana. That with the vriksha, you see the branches, flowers, fruits, etc. is paridrishyamana. So from the paridrishyamana, you understand the most important thing which gives rise to this. Tasya moolam yatha anniyate tadvat samsara vrikshasya. See, that whatever you see. Okay? So brahmadis thavara paryantam. So tasmat tan moolam brahma. Okay? Tasya avadidharayishaya. That is the phrase he uses. Okay? Avadidharayisha. So avadharayitum ichchaya iyam valli arabhyate. So here we find a very beautiful prose. So we'll just read one or two sentences and then we will take up the details in the next class. See, samsara vrikshaha urdhamulaha. Why is this samsara vriksha described as vriksha? See, samsara described as vriksha rather. We should put that way. So he says, vrikshascha vraschanat vinashvaratvat. So it will be there for some time, then it will disappear. Okay? So that is why vrishchanat. So the samsara, so though it has been there, we don't know how long, but it is going to perish one day. Okay? Vrikshascha vraschanat vinashvaratvat. Then avichinna janma jara marana shoka dyanekanarthatmakaha pratikshanam anyatha svabhavaha maya marichutuka gandharva nagaradivat drishtanashta swarupatvat avasane cha vrikshavadabhavatmakaha kadalistambhavan nissaraha anekashata pashanda buddhi vikalpaspadaha tatta vijijñāsubihi anirdharita gidam tattvaha Vedānta nirdharita parabrahma moolasaraha avidyākāma karma. Goes on. Such a beautiful prose here. It's a very long sentence. Okay? Nice description of samsara by various attributes. Just see. So he says, Avichinna janma jara marana shokadyanikanarthatmakaha. Avichinna janma jara marana shokadi aneka anarthatmakaha yam samsaraha. Pratikshanam anyatha svabhavaha. Pratikshanam anyatha svabhavaha. You can see from our own nature to what we see around. Pratikshanam anyatha svabhavaha means it has a continuous change. So you consider any entity. So this is a very beautiful description. Since we are running short of time, so we will stop here. We will continue in the next class. But this is a beautiful prose. I would urge you people to read this before coming to the next class. You can just read this prose, such a beautiful prose. So we will take up word to word meaning. So it is such a wonderful long sentence. You will never find in Bhashya anywhere such a longish sentence. Okay. So we will stop here. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhanaktu Sahavirjam Karavavahi Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sarve Sukhina Santu, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Paschid Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om